any further ado, let's get your host, David Schaeffer. Woo!
All right, let's get this party started, huh? Another Fiscal Friday. Welcome, everybody. And welcome to all you guys that haven't seen us yet. Welcome to Fiscal Fridays, the show where we give you practical solutions to put to rest things that keep you up at night. I'm David Schaeffer, founder of American Retirement Advisors. For over 25 years, we've helped make healthcare, retirement income, and inheritance planning 1, 2, 3 easy. I want to introduce you to somebody very special to me. This is Kyle Jacobs, one of our senior advisors, and he brings something to the table that most folks don't know about. Well, actually, probably 2 or 3 things to the table.
A couple of them.
Yeah. Got a pretty cool watch on?
I do.
Oh, look
Shows the whole world.
No, it's on your
the wrist.
All right. So let's get to this. So Kyle doesn't just plan for Medicare. He actually lives it. He's an insulin-dependent diabetic whose wife is currently on a Medicare Advantage plan, along with other close family members on other Medicare plans. Kyle has intimate knowledge when it comes down to sitting across from somebody that's on Medicare and talking about their drug coverage and their doctor's network.
Yep.
Because Kyle's been on the other side of that counter himself at the pharmacy, right?
That I have.
And second, Kyle's a licensed realtor in the state of Arizona. So when we have questions about houses, like should you sell it, should you keep it, what happens to it, Kyle's actually the licensed professional working in this space every single day.
Thank you, David. I'm so excited to be here, as many of the things that we're going to cover today are so extremely personal to me. As you mentioned, I'm a type 1 diabetic and I manage my own diabetes. My wife is on a Medicare Advantage plan, and I've learned the hard way that the plan you pick on paper is not always the plan that you get when you're standing at the pharmacy. Beyond that, on the real estate side, I've sat with countless families who waited too long to deal with the house, and it cost them. So I'm glad to be here. These are the conversations that I have every day.
And that's not the key. We're adding people with lived experience when it comes to a question about your health plan or your house. Our team actually has real life experience and dealing with all of these issues firsthand.
We do, my friend.
Yep.
So we always like to help people. So we had a caller this week, and this call came in from a woman. Let's call her Carol. Carol's 73, and she's been on a Medicare Advantage plan for the last 3 years. She's loved it because the premium was low and it had some nice extras. But this year, 2 things happened. First, she went to refill her insulin, and she was told by the pharmacy that it was no longer covered. She went almost 3 weeks without insulin while she was trying to figure out the problem. Second, she got a letter letting her know that her endocrinologist, the specialist she's seen for so many years, is no longer in the network. Carol's scared. She said, I picked this plan because it looked like the best deal 3 years ago, and now I feel trapped. She wants to know if she can get out or whether she made a mistake. She did also mention that her and her husband have about $1.2 million saved up between them. So this isn't necessarily a money problem because she could pay for the drugs. It's a what do I do problem.
So, Kyle, what do you think's keeping them up at night specifically?
I think it's the fact that she went without her insulin for 3 weeks. She can't go see her doctor anymore because the plan's told her she can't. And she's really feeling trapped in a plan that she just doesn't understand.
Okay, so medication and keeping the doctor that she trusts.
Yep.
Okay. How young is she?
She's 73.
All right. And she's been on this plan for 3 years.
Correct.
And is there a spouse in the house?
There is, but he's on a different type of plan.
Okay. All right. So health-wise, they're both fine, except for she's maintaining her lifestyle with the treatment for her diabetes.
Correct. And don't forget, they've got that nest egg of about $1.2 million between them.
All right. So let me reflect a little bit. Carol picked the plan because it looked like the best deal on paper. This year, the plan changed the rules on her. Her medication's no longer covered, and her doctor's gone.
Yep.
She's got a decent nest egg of $1.2 million. And the question isn't, can she afford the care? The question is she in the right kind of plan for someone who's managing a chronic condition that she's honestly going to manage for the rest of her life?
Correct.
So, Carol, we hear you loud and clear. You're not alone in this. And it's not something that we want to step over lightly. It's something that we have to deal with as advisors every day. And we know that nearly a third of Americans are dealing with what you're dealing every day. All right. So first, let's take a deep breath. That was a good one.
I think so.
For a diabetic kind of guy, right?
So the nice part is Carol's not trapped.
No.
There are windows to fix this, and there are things that we can look at to, move with purpose.
So let's just say that you lived in a major metropolitan area.
Yep.
And let's just say that there were chronic condition Medicare Advantage plans that were available in her area.
Yep.
Couldn't she just move to one of those in the middle of the year?
If she wasn't already on one, she does have that special election period to be able to move.
Okay, so if she picked a normal Medicare Advantage plan,
Yep.
she could take advantage of the chronic condition that she has
Yep.
and move to a plan specifically for those chronic conditions.
That might cover her insulin and her endocrinologist.
So it sounds like an opportunity for her to get untrapped,
Yep.
get a more appropriate plan outside of the normal annual election period for a Medicare Advantage plan, specifically because of her condition.
Correct.
All right, that sounds pretty cool. Now, I don't think she made a mistake going on to Medicare Advantage when she picked it.
Nope.
I think the challenge, I don't want to call it a mistake. It's not a mistake, Carol. We strongly suggest that people, no matter what type of health insurance program they have, they do an annual review.
Well, because as Ron Popeil used to say, set it and forget it. But for Medicare and Medicare Advantage plans, that's not the right answer. Because you want to check on these
We got to
things.
go back to television history. Ron Popeil, what was his most famous product?
I'm pretty sure it was something that was like a rotisserie chicken thing. I forget the name of it, but
Bass-O-Matic?
I remember the set it and forget it.
That was some kind of cooker thing.
For rotisserie chickens, you could do a whole chicken in like 3 hours.
3 hours?
I think that's what it was. You set it and forget it. It's like a crock pot, but for rotisseries.
All right, let's get back to the show. We got to watch we got to talk to the producer about the guests, Ron Popeil. I mean, that's great, but like, I don't know what he's talking about. What are you talking about, Medicare?
Yeah, well, hold on. Let's get back to this Medicare Advantage plan, okay? Because again, it's not that Carol made a wrong choice.
No.
It's not that she got scammed in the plan that she was on. It's simply that she didn't understand how the plans were built. And the trouble is that almost nobody out there, except for certified Medicare planners, are actually going to explain how the plans not only work, but how clients will actually experience them.
Got it. So, especially Medicare Advantage plans and especially Part D prescription drug plans, they are going to change something every single year.
Every year.
And when a critical drug is important, it's important to do the review before they get stuck.
Correct.
Because if she lived in the sticks,
There might not be options.
right, they might not offer those special needs plans for folks with chronic illness.
Correct.
All right, so let's keep moving.
So there's another path for someone who's managing a lifelong condition. The question is whether an Advantage plan or original Medicare with a supplement is going to be a better fit for them.
Okay.
A supplement doesn't necessarily have a network, so the specialist does not disappear. But there are trade-offs, there are timing rules, and there are situations where switching is harder than people expect. So this is exactly the kind of decision you want to walk through with someone before your enrollment window, not during the panic.
Okay, and then let's talk about the insulin,
Yep.
because we've gone through this with countless clients. Sometimes Medicare, well, 4 times a year, Medicare can and
Every
does
quarter.
change their formulary.
Yep.
So they could add things, they could take things away.
Yep.
And then we've also found, especially with insulin, a couple of insulins were manufactured and then they weren't.
Yep.
And since clients don't read the letters that come to them, a lot of insurance companies switch to emails because if you're not going to read it, might as well save the trees, right? And then sometimes folks didn't know that what they're taking now was going to be replaced with something, and they don't know what it's called. So then, it's the insurance company's fault.
Well, and don't forget, the federal government has been involved in this the last couple of years. Whether it was an executive order by one president or an actual law, the Inflation Reduction Act by another, that has gone through that changed the insulin game.
Right.
Not only one did it offer certain protections for caps and max cost on these things,
Right.
but what changed was first it was any insulin had to be covered,
Right.
and then it was any approved insulin.
Right.
So some generics changed from the generic name to a new brand name generic drug.
Wait a second.
And-
Wait.
what?
Wait. A generic can have a brand name too?
It can.
Okay.
It's just a different pharmaceutical company making it, but it's still cheap. But what a lot of people didn't know...
Inexpensive?
Inexpensive. I like that word. What a lot of people didn't know was the question to ask. They might be taking one drug, but the formulary, which is the thing that all the drug plans have to go by, changed it on them. So they may need to be getting insulin Fios instead of insulin Novolog. Nobody understands that if you're not talking to your doctor and understanding what your formulary is.
And how are doctors with understanding insurance company formularies?
They just think the insurance company won't cover it, and they just randomly pick another insulin that may or may not be covered still.
So good guidance would be for anybody that's taking medications that are critical to them being around.
Yep.
Maybe print off just a couple of pages from the formulary, from your specific plan, so that way you know what the options are.
So when you talk with your doctor, you can get the right prescription the first time,
Right.
not be chasing it for weeks.
Right. And then, calling a doctor's office to get them to fix something is like, well, hopping on a hamster wheel, and I hope you have plenty of energy to stay on that hamster wheel. Yeah, I think we've talked this one to death.
Yeah.
It's basically find a
got
certified
choices.
Medicare planner to help you through this, so you're not sitting on the phone going crazy. We've had clients call us from standing in front of their drug dealer, their pharmacist, and having our client care actually help them ask the correct question so they can get the correct answer. Give me my stuff, right? Yeah. All right. Let's move forward a little bit. And she didn't make a mistake, really. She just didn't have all the information.
Correct. So it's not even a design issue or a price issue. It's a solvable with the right plan and the right choice with the right questions.
Okay.
So, and this might be the most important part. I know we've kind of talked about this,
Yeah.
but it's never a set it and forget it attitude. It's
Okay.
you should be reviewing your plan every single September when the insurance companies send you that annual notice of change.
What the heck?
I know, it's the letter that says things are changing and most people don't read. And even if you don't, just make sure that you review your plan, or make sure that you have a certified Medicare planner that you can simply say, hey, am I on the right plan next year, or do I need to make a change?
Well, if they were our client, we would be reaching out to them before annual election gets here. Say, please update your prescription drugs so we know what you're taking. Please update the pharmacy that you like to use. So that way we could proactively share with them if they're going to have a challenge or if everything's okie dokie.
Correct. So while a low premium plan may be attractive on paper, it's not always the right choice depending upon your specific situation.
Right.
The cheapest or most cost-effective plan can sometimes be the most expensive in a crisis. Beyond that, it isn't a wrong choice. It just requires knowing how your plan works and what changes are happening every single year.
Yep. Let me give you another situation. It's kind of on the same topic. A client selected a Medicare PPO.
Do those even exist anymore?
They certainly do. And as you probably know, a PPO says that if you use the network, everything's fine, and doctor sends the bill to the plan, and everything works wonderfully.
Yep.
But a PPO allows you to see a non-network provider,
At a higher cost.
and you may have to pay and get reimbursed.
Little complicated.
Yeah, and we've got a client right now working with us, and he's got a $148 bill for a visit for a doctor that he knew at the time that he selected the plan that his doctor was out of the network.
Okay.
And he's going through all kinds of issues saying, why wasn't this paid? Because you went to an out-of-network doctor and we told you that that's how it's going to work prior to getting the plan, or else we wouldn't have even offered the plan to him.
Correct. And he just kind of forgot when he finally went through it.
Of course.
So,
And who's going to pay the bill?
Exactly. Now, I get to live this, David, right?
Yeah.
My wife is on a Medicare Advantage plan, and she receives a lot of care. We've experienced almost every part, from prior authorizations to step therapies to denials and more. I can tell you there's almost always a solution. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes the right language. But that's why you have your advisor. So that when you're dealing with an issue, you can pick up the phone and have a one and done conversation rather than getting the runaround for a solution that no one really knows the right question to ask for from the beginning.
So, folks, make sure you review your plans every single year. If you want some help, well, just click the link in the description. And when I'm not here on the show, I'm right over there in my office helping folks.
No, they need to come see me. I'll take care of them,
Well,
sir.
that's fine. They can come see you.
So, David, we talk about a lot of this stuff, and I'm so passionate. It's crazy what is happening out there because we get calls every single day from people going, hey, I want my $300 grocery card.
Wait a second.
What?
You're saying that there are Medicare plans that will give them $300 a month for groceries?
Yeah, there's some out there that are.
In some metropolitan areas?
Some states, some places. They're not everywhere, but they're all
Under
over the
certain
TV
conditions?
commercials. Very certain conditions. But
Wow.
they're on the TV commercials.
All right.
So the issue is, right, is clients are calling, they're asking for the grocery cards, or they're saying, why am I paying for my Medicare when my friends don't pay anything? Sounds amazing, right? Well, here's what nobody tells you, is many Medicare beneficiaries don't even remember the type of plan that they picked when they first got onto Medicare and couldn't tell you today why they're even on it. There are many plans with no premium. However, they limit the doctors you can go to because they're network-based. Every plan out there, no matter if it's an Advantage or a standalone drug plan, have a list of drugs that are covered.
The formulary.
And all of those plans can change on you every single January. What's worse is you don't get a vote in this. So as we've already spoken, my wife's on a Medicare Advantage plan and I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic. So in our house, this isn't a hypothetical. I've stood at the pharmacy counter and I've been told that a medication she's taken for years needed a prior authorization. Or the fact is it wasn't even covered on the formulary. I've made phone calls, I've waited days, and I'm in this business. So I think about Carol, who we just talked about, and I think about every person in this room and out there, that if it's this hard for me, someone who does this for a living, what is it like for someone who picked a plan simply because of a commercial that said it was going to cost them nothing? Here's the thing. Nothing is actually free. You're paying a premium, you're not paying a premium, but you might be paying with your choice of doctors. You might be paying with the week without your medication. You might be paying with a network that doesn't include a hospital that you want to go to. The cost didn't disappear. It just moved to a place you can't see until you need the care. Now, hear me out. I'm not telling you any plan is bad or that one plan is better than the other. For anyone, what I'm saying is some people, it's a great fit. And what I'm telling you is that you have to look under the hood before you sign, not after. Because once you're in, getting out has rules and timings. The worst time to learn that you need something is after you already need it. So please make sure that you're getting a certified Medicare planner to not only assist you in your initial decision, but someone that's there to do the research for you every single year as these plans change. All right, David, I think I've talked enough and gotten on my soapbox about this, but remember, things change. Make sure you look at this stuff.
And look at it before you need it.
Correct. And every year.
Well, that was a pretty good rant.
All right, sir. All right, I got it out. Shake it out. All right, we're done. Woo! So, David, can we just get back to helping people? Because that's what I really love doing.
Well, I want to get back to your rant. I think that helps people. I think you drove the point home. Hey, let's get ahead of this. Before there's a problem, let's identify it so it's not a problem.
So you mean planning's important?
Come on, man.
All right. So our next caller came in. A gentleman gave us a call this week from Arizona. Let's call him Ray. Ray and his wife are 70.
Okay.
They bought their home here in Arizona back in the 90s. Wow, that was a long time ago.
Right?
For around $300,000.
Wait a second. $300,000 in the 90s?
It's a nice house.
It's got to have been a spread, right?
So it's currently paid off, and today it's worth, well, $1.1 million. The kids are grown and gone. The house is too big for just the two of them. The yard is too much. And Ray,
Wait. Yard? We're in Arizona.
You've got rocks with little green things that pick up when the rains come.
Well, I don't have a lawn guy. I've got a rock raker.
But he takes care of the trees.
He does.
So he is really tired of writing the checks to keep up the house.
get it.
He asked us, or he thinks he might want to sell, simplify, and free up that money.
Mhm.
But his neighbor told him that he's going to get crushed on taxes.
Wait a second. He's listening to his neighbor?
Well, don't we all talk to our neighbors and friends?
Well, yeah, actually, I like my neighbors.
I do, but they have opinions, not advice.
Okay.
So now he's frozen. He asked me, do I sell? Do I keep it? What's it going to cost us, whichever decision we make?
Right. All right. So, Kyle, you hold a Arizona real estate license.
That I do, sir.
So you actually know this side of the conversation.
I do.
So what'd you tell him first?
Well, as we tell all of our clients, let's take a breath. Let's understand and slow down, because the one big question that he asked actually includes three very and completely different questions inside. First, is there a tax on the sale of the house? 2, there's a Medicare surprise that almost nobody sees coming. And 3, there is what happens to the house if they do nothing. So let's take them in order, David.
All right, I'm writing.
So as far as the math goes, Ray bought the house for $300,000. That's his cost basis, or what it cost him.
Wait a second. You're throwing out realtor words.
Huh?
What is a cost basis?
Effectively, it's what you paid for the house and whatever you put into the house. So any upgrades, renovations, things like that.
So he bought the house for $300,000 and he didn't do anything to it. So at that point in time, that number is set in stone.
Correct.
Can't move it because that's what happened.
Correct.
So the cost basis is a point in time number.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So I'm going to write 300 down if you're okay.
I'm happy with that.
All right. Can I hit the go button?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So today that house is worth $1.1 million.
Oi. Okay. Good job.
Now that's an $800,000 gain.
Good math.
I know, but did you see everybody in the room just winced when they heard that big number?
Yeah.
Man.
It's nice having live folks in the audience.
So he's concerned that on that $800,000 gain, he's going to have a pretty big set of taxes, right?
Wait.
What?
He's got to pay tax on $800,000?
That's what he thinks. But it's
That's
not
what
the
his
case.
neighbor said.
I know. but it's
Doesn't his
not the
neighbor
case.
know stuff?
Like we said, he has opinions. So the fact is for a married couple, as Ray is, the first $500,000 of that gain can actually be, well, excluded, or there's a tax exemption that they don't have to pay taxes.
Wait a second. Okay, so I got 500. I've got 800,000. Take away 500,000. That leaves us with
300.
All right. So it's getting better.
So they will pay taxes on that 300,000. It's a long-term capital gains.
Okay, so 15 to 20% depending on the income.
Yep.
Okay.
So a lot better on the 300 than on the whole 800.
Heck yeah. That's almost 3 times better.
That it is. But now,
Wait a second. Just for talking to you, he saved 2.5 times on his.
little bit. I
Okay.
think so.
Good job.
But now here's where most realtors and other folks out there never connect the dots.
Well, why would a realtor connect the dot about something that they don't have a license to talk about?
From my opinion, I think we need to educate our clients always in all the pitfalls of everything. But I'm not like everybody else.
That's for sure.
So the Medicare surprise that nobody really talks about is the fact that that $300,000 goes straight to your tax return in this year, in 2026. In 2 years from now, they're going to get a letter that says, hey, guess what? You owe more money on your Medicare premiums.
Well, that's not right.
Why not?
Rascals, the government, I tell you. So nobody's going to tell you about that. Nobody on television. Nobody.
Nope. And it's really where these two worlds collide to understand what's happening. So Ray has this $300,000 of taxable gain
I got that right here.
in the year he sells. So let's
Okay.
say this year. That income doesn't just sit on his tax return. Medicare looks back at his income, and if it spikes in 1 year, his Medicare premiums jump 2 years later. It's what's called IRMA,
Wait a second. That's a naughty word.
It is.
What's IRMA?
income-related Medicare monthly adjustment amount.
All right, let's just call it IRMA.
So Ray could sell his house, handle the capital gains just fine,
Yeah.
and then 18 months later, open a letter saying his Medicare premium went up by thousands of dollars, and he has no idea why.
Say that again.
His Medicare premiums go up by thousands of dollars and have no idea why.
So Medicare's premium looks back 2 years. Now, did they look back 2 years, or does it take IRS 2 years to get them the information?
A little bit of both.
Okay. So something that happened 2 years ago is going to pop, and $300,000 is going to double
if not more.
his Medicare premium.
Yep. Well, not just his and his wife's.
So that's a 4 times increase on the family's Medicare premium.
Simply because they sold their home.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Now, that is exactly it, David. But there's a fix.
Okay.
It's called planning. There are ways to time the sale or spread out things so you don't trip that surcharge. But you have to know it's coming before you sign,
Yep.
not after.
Yep. So what happens if they do nothing?
Well, that's the last piece. Ray asked, what if we just keep it and leave it to the kids?
Okay.
I told him that's amazing. He's leaving such a legacy behind for his kids. But how the house is currently titled matters enormously.
What?
If the house is in a trust, it passes cleanly. If not, it can land in probate, which is public, slow, expensive. And now the kids have a problem. The court's problem instead of a clean handoff.
So there is a gift hiding in there too, isn't there?
Well, if it's passed appropriately.
Okay.
And even if it's not, there's still a gift.
All right.
But when you leave the house to your kids instead of selling it yourself, the kids have that cost basis that we talked about.
Wait a second.
What?
Cost basis, the point in time for a specific number.
The value. at
The
that time.
value.
Yep.
Okay.
So for the kids, when it passes to them, the value in that specific point in time is the day of your passing. So they get a step up. Instead of your $300,000, it's now worth that 1.1 today. The most difficult part about this is that we want to make sure that we're making a decision, not an accident. So we're not leaving a mess behind for the kids.
Okay, so Ray's got a little bit of homework.
He does.
So Ray today needs to go digging.
Unless he has a beneficiary box and it's already in one place.
A beneficiary box. Let's talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But if Ray knows where the actual transaction documents were for the purchase of his house, that would be awesome. And then
Any improvements he's done, if he's got his receipts.
all right, so he bought the, but in our case he didn't. But let's just say that he added a pool and a second, one of those little casita things in the back for friends to go.
Or solar on the roof.
Okay, so he spent some money to improve the value. So that will lessen the tax burden upon transfer if he was to sell it while he's around.
Exactly.
But if he waits to give it to the kids,
Doesn't matter.
they get a $1.1 million house, and if they were to sell it for $1.1 million, no inheritance tax?
No inheritance tax if that is the only piece of the estate. If it is a much larger estate, then there might be some inheritance tax, depending on
Is there
the
any
values.
federal income tax?
There is not.
So if they were to add the kids to the title,
Well, then the kids take the cost basis of the house when they get added to title.
so that means that the house is worth $300,000 on their bucket, and if they sold it for 1.1, they would have to pay the $800,000 difference and pay the tax on that.
because the kids weren't living in the house as a primary residence when they go to sell it. Now, David, this is a lot of stuff we've talked about.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
make sure that if you're going to be talking about these things, please consult your CPA, your tax accountant, your lawyer, someone like that. Remember, this is educational purpose, not
Right.
tax advice.
So we don't provide tax and legal advice, but we do tell them the things that they need to talk to those professionals about.
Yes, sir. Now, I
Okay.
think there's some extra homework that we need to get Ray on. So,
All right.
one, we got to figure out what did the house cost in the beginning.
Find that document.
Two, before you list anything, let's make sure that we model the sale year against your Medicare income brackets so that you're not surprised when it comes up.
Right.
And then three, we need to make a decision. Do we sell and simplify or hold and hand down? Either can be right. Drifting or being frozen in time is the only wrong answer.
So for Ray, one thing we know is the house is going somewhere.
At some point in time.
So the big deal is you could decide how and when
On his
And-
terms.
and make it efficient
Yep.
for those that you're giving it to, because you don't want to give a burden, you want to give a gift.
Correct.
Or you can do nothing and let the courts handle it. How long does that take right now?
2 years, 3 years.
All right, so we're currently in Arizona, so was he. But what if he was in California or Massachusetts, one of those states that like has their fingers into everything?
It can take a lot longer, cost a lot more, and then the estate's also paying for all the attorney's fees, which can eat up any inheritance that you were planning to leave to your kids.
And then some other entities,
Mhm.
like the government, may not agree with appraised numbers.
Nope.
They may say, well, no, we don't like those.
Correct.
And now you got to go battle that.
Correct.
We've got a client that we're working with now,
Mm.
and they've got one of the largest properties available, not for sale, but available undeveloped in the middle of town.
Yep.
And it's a big town.
It's a big town.
And you said how many houses could be put on that property?
About 300.
Okay. And right now there's just horses on it.
and pasture.
So it's taxed as agricultural land.
Correct.
Now, do you think the government wants to get that inheritance tax on the pasture land or on the developable value?
Well, the developed value is quite a bit more than the agricultural. So not only do the heirs now run into an income problem, they run
And?
into an inheritance problem because of
And?
the level of the estate.
And they've got other entities that want their mitts in it. With a little bit of proper planning, there's no issues with anybody else looking at it because it's essentially handled.
And be avoided. So this is the part that people avoid.
Yeah.
And it's the most important part that we could possibly talk about.
Hmm.
Dealing with the house now, while you're healthy and clear-headed, is the kindest thing that you can do for your kids. We package that all up in what we call the inheritance planning process. And it really starts with the beneficiary box.
That was the thing you were talking about earlier.
Mhm. We'll show you how you can make a clean handoff to your heirs rather than leaving a mess. Because the home is such a big part of your retirement plan, we actually created the Home and Legacy Guidepost. This is a wonderful document that helps you understand how much of an effect your home has on your retirement plan and how to make sure that it's properly integrated. So make sure everybody here in the studio office picks up one today, or visit the link down in the description below to get yours, or you can visit AmericanRetire.com to download this and all of our other guideposts that are available to you.
Kyle, I really love these things.
I think they're amazing. Sir.
Well, they're updated at the time that we do the show,
Mhm.
and we cite where all of the information came from.
Yep.
And it's written in plain English,
Without a doubt. And math is in there.
but it's simple.
1, 2, 3.
Read this, and it doesn't make you an expert, but it gives you the opportunity to develop your own questions so you can reach out to the professionals and get real answers as it relates to you. Yeah, this one's great. It's called Your Home, Your Legacy, and you can get it on AmericanRetire.com.
It was written by a best-selling author,
It was.
David Schaeffer. You can get his book on Amazon and even Walmart.
I see Kyle Jacobs right
Well,
there.
I
I
helped
didn't see the other name. But anyway,
So,
our
David,
gift to everybody that's it's here live. Thank you for being here live. Love live people and everybody out there.
yep, just download it today. Now, David, I think you like the history of money, don't you?
I like the history of things. Money's nice to have. It's better than not.
We've talked about this tax breaks that exist for people that own their homes and have lived in it as their primary residence. But can you share with folks, was this the way it always was, or have things changed over time?
Kyle, didn't you say it earlier? The only thing we can count on is change.
That I did.
Yeah, I wonder. Some famous guy must have said that, and we've just not forgotten it.
So is this your fiscal footnote, sir?
This is the fiscal footnote. Most folks don't know that the tax break that Kyle just described lets a married couple shield up to $500,000 when they sell their home. It's only existed since 1997. This clock is from,
1907?
this one is 1897.
Oh.
This thing is way older than that new law. But I know how folks think. They learn something, they remember something, and then they didn't know to update in here that things change.
But that's what they were taught. It was the way they were taught, trained, and that's
Yep.
the way it's going to stay, right?
Yeah. Well, before the rules were a little strange.
That they were.
I think they're strange now too. But if you sold your home and made a profit back before 1997, you were expected to roll every nickel into a new home that cost at least as much as your current home, and you wouldn't owe tax. Or if you didn't, you would owe tax. So if you had a $500,000 house and you sold it for $1 million, you bought $1 million house, and you were okay.
Yeah. But
Back
that
up.
required people to get bigger and bigger and bigger houses that they didn't need
Just
so they
to
could
avoid the
bill.
tax. All right, I got you. So there was a one-time tax break you could also use if you were over age 55.
Yep.
But once you used it, that was it. Then in 1997, Congress passed the Taxpayer Relief Act. That same law that created the Roth IRA.
Now, that's a cool thing we've talked about in another episode already.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about history is I'd like to know when these things came about and why they did it in the first place. Because a lot of this stuff is helpful.
Now, but that rewrote the rules on selling their home as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So suddenly a couple could exclude $500,000 of gain, and they could do it over and over every few years, not just once. So that's a huge change, and that's the rules that we live in now. For decades, the tax code quietly pushed retirees into bigger homes that they didn't want because selling and downsizing meant a tax bill. That changed in 1997, and most people who are retired grew up under the old rules. So they still think that selling their house means getting crushed. Usually it doesn't. But the fear is a generation out of date. There's a better way to think about your home. And that's exactly why we walked through the scenario with Ray.
Mm-hmm. So, David, we felt it was so important that we wrote the guidepost on the house in retirement. When to sell, when to hold, and how to download it.
Wait,
right?
When to hold them and when to fold them?
I think there was a song about that, right?
This is when to sell them.
Or when to hold them.
It's close. So where do you get this?
You can get it on AmericanRetirement.com, or you can download it from the link in, well, our bio or down below.
In the descriptions, depending on what social media they're watching this.
So now we got a ton of people here in house, David. I think we want to ask some questions. Well, answer some questions.
I don't want to ask any questions, but let's go to the studio audience and see what you guys have. What is your question? You got two experts sitting here.
We have a commercial building that's for sale. Is the net gain tax what's the net gain? After the commission, real estate commission goes out, and after taxes go out. I'm talking about how's it going to impact Medicare, because this is one piece my husband and I have not talked about because we have no clue. You've been writing it today. That's what I like about you guys. You give me just enough information so I know what I don't know.
So the question is that there's a commercial building that is up for sale. Once that sale happens, how does it affect your Medicare premiums in a couple of years from now? So it's an interesting conversation to be had, because the easy answer is well, whatever you sell the building for, whatever your taxable gain is on the building, because it's a commercial building, which means everything is going to be long-term taxable gain, or long-term capital gains, excuse me.
Which taxable?
Correct, which is taxable. And then, of course, you probably have your depreciation that you've got to take back from the depreciation you put on the building. So that number is going to be fairly large. It's just what happens when you sell a commercial asset. That number, whatever it is, will be what your Medicare premiums are going to increase in a couple of years from now. So let's just say it's a very expensive building. It takes you from the lowest piece of IRMA to the highest piece of IRMA. On average, it's about a $6,000 cost per person that it's going to increase your Medicare premium for that 1 year, 2 years in the future. Now, question for you. Did you or your husband, were either one of you working to manage the building? Were you spending any time every year to actually manage the building, being the landlord or doing anything with it?
We were landlords.
Okay. So one of the things that you can try to use for an appeal is Medicare has what's called the Medicare Adjustment Amount Life-Changing Event Form. It's called the SSA-44. We can get you one at the front. Anybody that needs to download it, we'll have it available on our links for you to download.
Or irs.gov.
Mm-hmm. But this is the form that you use to file an appeal to adjust your surcharges down. Now, one of the items that we talk about that a lot of people will choose is a loss of an income-producing property. But you didn't lose an income-producing property. You chose to sell it. So a loss would be something like it was destroyed by a fire, things like that. But what you do have an option of choosing from is, well, you're now going to have a work reduction or a work stoppage because you're no longer actively property managing that commercial building. So therefore, your income that's coming is no longer for the work you were doing. So you can choose to file an appeal for that work reduction or that work stoppage. And then that will actually make those surcharges effectively disappear because they're going to bring it current to the day that it happened, not what was in the past. So 2 years from now, when you get the letter that says, hey, here's where your surcharges are going to be, you're going to file the appeal. You're going to say, well, we had a work stoppage because we're no longer property managing that property. and the federal government's going to look, and if they agree with you, then they're going to remove those surcharges.
Does the increase in Medicare stay forever?
Nope,
Calendar year.
just that one calendar year. Yep. So every year that you've been on Medicare now or in the future, they always do this look back. So every single year, December of last year, 2025, right? They look back at your 2024 tax return for 2026. So on and so forth every single year in the future. So years where you had a high income year last for that 1 year, and then they drop. But what a lot of people don't realize as well is as you get older and you get into your required minimum distributions, well, that's all straight income that can affect these IRMA surcharges as well.
Yep. Great question. Really
Thank
good
you.
one. Good answer.
When you were talking about leaving your house to your children and that,
Mm-hmm.
you referenced the beneficiary.
Yeah.
But you didn't go into that. Can you explain that?
Okay. So depending on the state that you live in, again, we don't provide tax or legal advice, but we share with you where to go and what to get. In many states, you can do something simply by creating a beneficiary deed and filing it with the county recorder's office, and it's a disbursement on death document that bypasses probate in many states. Arizona is one of those states where a beneficiary deed is all you need. The other route to get a property from one generation to the next is to create a trust, go file with the county recorder's office a quit, not quick, but quit claim deed, and deed the property into your revocable living trust, and then it would pass without probate. So there's multiple ways to get a property from one place to another and avoid probate. It really comes down to what's most appropriate for you, and both work. But again, we don't provide tax or legal advice, so your legal professional would be the person to bring that up with. And also, when we take our clients through inheritance planning, it's a topic that's covered completely in that session. So that way, we'll be asking you the questions and giving you the reference, if you will, whether you want to go this way or you want to go that way, and then bring that topic up with the legal professional that will create the document for you.
And now, David, a lot of the times, too, it also has to do with what your wishes are for that property, whether it needs to go to a single person, a single beneficiary, or if it needs to be split between different heirs. So each strategy and planning is going to be different depending on what your wishes are.
And the complexity.
Correct. And then also without the entire rest of the estate as well, because differences of a single property versus an entire plan for all of what you have, the conversations and questions are just very different.
Yeah. But going through inheritance planning, it uncovers all of the questions that may be deeper than the one that you just asked. Yeah. So good question. What else you guys got?
So, Mary's question kind of triggered a thought for me too. So my husband retired, but in his retirement, he decided to buy and flip houses. So,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, so he set up a business.
Perfect.
So is that then income that would affect Medicare as well?
Well, it is different, right? Because a business, if he's not taking income as as a disbursement as an owner or his income as an employee, then no, it's not going to affect his IRMA surcharges.
But herein lies the other part of that question. If the earnings are retained inside of a corporation, no. But if it's a sole proprietorship or an S corp, any profits push through to the individual annually. So again, we don't provide tax or legal advice, but we do help you with the questions to ask, so that way you're structured appropriately, if that makes sense. Yep. But remember that on the Medicare surcharge, the IRS is 2 years delayed in getting that information to Social Security and Medicare, so it's a bit of a drag behind, long enough for folks to forget, oh, dang, where'd that $80,000 come from, or whatever, or in your case of your commercial building, $500 million,
Well, and then same thing, when he chooses to retire again, he'll have that opportunity for that IRMA appeal form.
What do you mean retire again?
Well,
he's not retired. No, he's not retired.
He's not retired.
He's
He's working.
actively engaged in a business, and he has, when it's actively, that means your capital is involved in that. Yep. So, yeah.
So I mean, a lot of clients do that. They retire,
And then they unretire.
They unretire, and then they retire again, and then they unretire, and I mean they go back and forth. So that appeal form can be filed anytime there's a life change event. So again, it's a work reduction or work stoppage. So a lot of times people go, well, I'm just going to pull back a little. Okay, their income goes down, they pull back, and then they go, well, now my income's gone down again because I fully stopped working. They can file appeal both times.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Yep. All right. What are the questions?
I think that's good from those nice live people. Thank you for coming.
I think we got a couple more things, sir.
Yeah, well, let's wrap this up, and then we'll close, and then everybody that was kind enough to come today, you guys are all invited
To lunch.
to lunch right after this. We're going right around the corner, and they've got a table reserved for us.
Very
So the wrap up, we talked to Carol.
Yep.
She picked a Medicare plan because it looked like it was the right choice at the time.
Yep.
And then this year, the plan changed the rules on her. Her insulin wasn't covered anymore, and her doctor was missing.
But we shared with everyone how important it is to review your plan every single year. And even better, if you do it with a certified Medicare planner, so you don't run into the same issues that Carol did.
Yep. So you're absolutely right, Kyle. We showed her that she's not trapped, that a low premium isn't always low cost, right?
True.
And costs aren't necessarily money. They could be time and effort.
Correct.
And then you told us about your own family and standing at the pharmacy counter without getting the medication because the plan looked like it cost nothing.
Yep.
But it cost, right? Because there you are standing there and not getting what you needed.
Correct. And the greatest gift that we can share with everyone, David, is knowing how to navigate these types of plans. It's the number one greatest item to making sure that you don't become frustrated when dealing with your health care.
I'm thinking back to last episode and the rant from somebody that's also in the business that's super frustrated and he didn't have any restrictions on where he could go.
Nope.
But anyways, finally we spoke with Ray, and he wanted to sell his paid-off house worth over $1 million, and he was frozen because his neighbor freaked him out about taxes. And I completely understand. I mean, nothing freaks me out more than, taxes. But anyways. So, but we showed him the real numbers and how it would actually affect him, and we talked about the Medicare surprise as well.
Yep.
So he didn't get caught, and then we gave him choices, and we let him know that if you're in control, things don't happen by accident; they happen on purpose.
So do you know what all these folks have in common?
I think you're going to tell me.
Nobody told them. Nobody connected the dots, and that's why we do this show. We're here to educate and entertain. We want to make sure that you know all the things that you didn't know that you needed to know. Now say that 3 times fast, sir.
No.
What do you mean? It's all the things that you didn't know that you needed to know that you didn't know.
That's twice. Now, what'd you say?
That's all the things that you didn't know that you needed to know that you didn't know. I think something's not right there.
No,
about that one.
I'm delegating. You asked for something to get done, and I helped you do it yourself.
All right, sir. Now before
Isn't that
we
what
go,
we do with our clients too? We help them get it done.
We help them. But now, before we go, we want to make sure that you know a few things.
Well, did you know that we've been publishing this since?
You had hair?
No, I looked at the pictures. I didn't have hair back then either.
Okay.
I was thinking that it was before you were born, but
Nope, not that long, sir.
close.
But there's some really great stuff in there that our clients get every single month. It's full of tons of information about what's happening.
Wait a second. Are you going to tell us something sweet that's in here?
What? No, my section is called Sugar Sweet, and I love it.
You love sugar?
I love sugar, but it's not good for me. And we talk
he admitted that live.
We talk about all the things that are affecting diabetics, and then I've got some really cool recipes because I love to cook. But it's all in there. But we also cover everything from Medicare to retirement planning to what's actually changing when the laws change, so people know, like, isn't there a big change coming July 1st, sir?
Nobody cares about that. They only care about the puzzle that's inside.
No, they want to get their GLP-1s.
What?
That's the weight loss drugs that come July 1st.
What is a GLP-1?
It's that new medication that you prick yourself with and the weight just goes whoosh.
Magic, eh?
I do, yeah, just like it.
So you wrote about that in here?
I did.
I'm probably going to have to read the article.
I would think so. And if you want to read about it, grab yourself a copy. You can visit AmericanRetire.com to get your copy. Now, we love to publish it, folks, so pick your option. You can get it in paper, mailed to you, or you can get your digital copy. I like the paper because I do the crossword puzzle in the back.
It's a word search.
It's a crossword puzzle, isn't it? Isn't that what they call it?
He doesn't read the paper. Do they even have papers anymore?
They still have paper.
I like this thing because you can get it in paper form and you can scribble on it, and you can do the word search on the back.
Word search. Now,
we
what's-
used to have a crossword puzzle.
But what's even better is that we're doubling down on all the information that we provide. So not only do we have our newsletter, but we've launched five different social channels that I encourage
Last
you-
episode, it was only 4.
Well, mine is up now too, and I'm so excited about it.
Is it sweet?
It is sugary sweet.
Okay.
It's full of great daily tips, tricks, tidbits, and in 60 seconds or less. Our job is simple. We find out what keeps you up at night, and we help you to rest easy. So, David, should they go subscribe?
I think that they should subscribe. They should share with all their friends. They should click all the stuff that you're supposed to click.
And they can tune in every other Friday for
Fiscal
Fridays. We'll see you guys later. Take care.
everybody.